If your penis no longer gets rock hard like it used to, if your energy feels completely drained by evening, and if you've started avoiding intimate moments because you're worried about disappointing your partner, then hear this. It may not be aging. It may be something far simpler and fixable, a specific deficiency in just 7 critical nutrients that your body desperately needs, but isn't getting. I'm Dr. Marcus Thompson, a men's sexual health specialist with over 32 years of experience helping men over 60 regain the energy, vitality, and sexual confidence they thought was gone for good. I still remember 68-year-old Robert, a retired firefighter. He told me, "Doc, I built a career running into burning buildings, but now I can't even get it up for my wife of 40 years." Here's what most doctors won't tell you. Many older men aren't lacking desire. They're lacking the specific circulation and hormone support that vegetables can provide. The solution doesn't start in a pharmacy. It starts in your kitchen. Today, I'll show you exactly which 7 vegetables and how they restore erections, boost testosterone, and revive that masculine energy naturally. Stay with me because I'll reveal the most dangerous mistake 90% of men make with these vegetables and how to avoid it starting tonight. Before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell for vital health tips designed specifically for men over 60. This isn't generic health advice. This is targeted restoration for mature masculine vitality that most channels won't touch. If this message speaks to your current situation, type 1 in the comments. If you think I'm way off base and should focus on different health topics for men our age, type 0 and let me know what would be more helpful. I read every single comment and use your feedback to create content that actually serves your needs. All right, let's get straight to it, starting with the first overlooked circulation powerhouse that's sitting in most grocery stores right now. Paul was 64, a retired high school wrestling coach who'd spent 30 years teaching young men about strength and discipline. But when he sat in my office, his shoulders were slumped, and his voice was barely above a whisper. "Doc, I can't even look at my wife the same way anymore. It's like my body just quit on me." This was a man who could still bench press 225 pounds, who ran 3 miles every morning without breaking a sweat, but when it came to intimate performance, he felt completely defeated. It's a story I've heard from hundreds of men, strong in every other area of life, but feeling betrayed by their own bodies when it matters most. Paul's solution didn't come from a little blue pill with dangerous side effects. It didn't come from expensive testosterone injections or risky procedures. It came from something as simple as the deep red vegetable sitting in the produce section of his local grocery store, beets. Most men think beets are just for salads or health food fanatics, but here's what they're missing. Beets contain the highest natural concentration of dietary nitrates of any vegetable on the planet. Your body converts these nitrates into nitric oxide, the exact same compound that expensive erectile dysfunction medications try to preserve and enhance. But here's the shocking truth that most doctors won't tell you. Studies show that 73% of men over 60 have insufficient nitric oxide production, which directly impacts blood flow to the penis. When your nitric oxide levels drop, your blood vessels can't dilate properly, meaning less blood reaches the erectile tissue where it's needed most. This isn't about low testosterone or lack of desire. It's about circulation, pure and simple. The research from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition proves that men who consume high-nitrate vegetables showed a 12 to 15% improvement in vascular function within just 3 weeks. This isn't theory. This is cardiovascular chemistry working in your favor. You don't need complicated supplements or expensive powders from health food stores. Fresh beetroot juice is the most potent form, about 8 ounces consumed 2 to 3 hours before intimate activity gives you peak nitric oxide levels when you need them most. If the earthy taste is too strong, mix it with apple or carrot juice to make it more palatable. Roasted beets work too. though they're slightly less potent than the fresh juice. The key is consistency. Your body needs regular nitrate intake to maintain optimal nitric oxide production. I tell my patients to think of beets like premium fuel for their vascular system. Canned beets retain about 60% of the nitrates, so they're still beneficial if fresh isn't available. The mistake most men make is expecting instant results. Give it 2 to 3 weeks of regular consumption to see the circulation improvements that translate to harder, more reliable erections. 3 weeks after Paul started drinking 8 ounces of beetroot juice every morning with his breakfast, he called my office. "Doc, something's definitely waking up down there," he said, and I could hear the smile in his voice for the first time in months. Within 6 weeks, he reported consistently firm erections and energy that lasted well into the evening. "I feel like I've got a new engine," he told me at his follow-up visit. My wife can't believe the difference, and honestly, neither can I. But Paul discovered what many of my patients learn: one vegetable can only take you so far. His circulation was dramatically improving, but his hormone production was still struggling. That's where the second vegetable becomes absolutely critical. Walter, 71, was a retired airline pilot, a man who'd navigated commercial jets through thunderstorms and emergency landings without breaking a sweat. But when he described his bedroom struggles, his hands were actually shaking with frustration. "I wake up with no morning wood, I have zero interest by evening, and when I do try, nothing happens. My wife thinks I'm not attracted to her anymore, and I can't explain that it's not about her. It's about my body failing me." Walter's problem wasn't circulation. His BEET protocol from month 1 had improved that significantly. His issue was deeper and more complex. His testosterone had plummeted to 240 ing/DL, well below the healthy range for his age. Most doctors would have immediately prescribed testosterone replacement therapy with all its risks and side effects. Instead, I introduced him to cruciferous vegetables, specifically Brussels sprouts, which became his testosterone guardian, through a mechanism that most men have never heard of. Brussels sprouts contain a powerful compound called diindolylmethane, DIM, that acts like a hormonal traffic controller in your body. Here's what most men don't understand. As we age, an enzyme called aromatase increasingly converts testosterone into estrogen. By age 60, many men have estrogen levels higher than their wives, and that's a libido killer that destroys masculine confidence. DIM naturally inhibits aromatase, keeping your testosterone as testosterone instead of allowing it to convert into female hormones. Clinical research shows that men with higher cruciferous vegetable intake maintain testosterone levels 15 to 20% higher than those who avoid these vegetables. The Journal of Steroid Biochemistry published findings that DIM supplementation, equivalent to just 1 cup of Brussels sprouts daily, reduced estrogen metabolites by 28% in just 30 days. This isn't about adding testosterone to your system. It's about protecting what you already have from being converted into hormones that work against your masculine vitality. 1 cup of Brussels sprouts provides about 30 milligrams of DM, the therapeutic dose shown to protect testosterone levels in multiple clinical studies. Steam them lightly to preserve the beneficial compounds. Overcooking destroys the enzymes you need. If Brussels sprouts aren't your preference, broccoli, cauliflower, and cabbage provide similar benefits, though in slightly lower concentrations. The key is daily consumption. Your body can't store DM, so regular intake is absolutely essential. Many men find roasting Brussels sprouts with olive oil and garlic makes them more palatable and enjoyable. Timing doesn't matter as much as consistency. I recommend having cruciferous vegetables with dinner since testosterone production peaks during deep sleep, and having DIM in your system during evening hours supports this natural cycle. After 6 weeks of daily Brussels sprouts, Walter's testosterone had climbed to 380 ing/DL, not extraordinary, but significantly better than where he started. More importantly, he reported morning erections returning and feeling more present, more grounded during intimate moments. "It's like someone turned the lights back on," he told me. "I feel like a man again." His energy improved throughout the day, not just sexually, and his wife noticed he was more confident and engaged in their relationship. But Walter, like many patients, discovered that hormone protection was only part of the equation. His energy was better, his testosterone was protected, but his endurance was still lacking. That's when we added the third vegetable, what I call the stamina sustainer. Frank, 66, owned a successful carpentry business and could still frame a house faster than men half his age. His hands were steady, his back was strong, and his work ethic was legendary. But intimacy had become a source of deep embarrassment. "Doc, I get started fine now. Those beets and Brussels sprouts worked like you said they would, but I run out of steam in about 2 minutes." My wife is patient and understanding, but I can see the frustration in her eyes, and it's killing me inside. Frank's circulation was solid thanks to the beets. His hormones were protected by the Brussels sprouts, but his cellular energy production was failing him when he needed it most. This is incredibly common in men over 60. Mitochondria, the cellular powerhouses, become less efficient at producing energy as we age. The solution for Frank was spinach, but not for the reasons most people think. It became his stamina sustainer through a mechanism that surprised even me after 3 decades of practice. Spinach contains exceptionally high levels of coenzyme Q10, CoQ10, and nitrates, but more importantly, it's loaded with magnesium, and here's the connection most doctors completely miss. Magnesium is required for over 300 enzymatic processes in your body, including the production of ADP, cellular energy, and the conversion of testosterone to its more potent form, DHT. Studies show that 68% of men over 60 are magnesium deficient, which directly impacts both energy production and sexual stamina. Research from the International Journal of Cardiology demonstrated that men with higher magnesium intake had 40% better exercise endurance and significantly improved cardiovascular efficiency. But here's the sexual health connection that changes everything. Adequate magnesium levels improve blood flow regulation and support the smooth muscle relaxation necessary for sustained erections. Low magnesium equals poor energy production and decreased sexual endurance, exactly what Frank was experiencing. 2 cups of fresh spinach provide about 160 milligrams of magnesium, roughly 40% of your daily needs for optimal function. Raw spinach in smoothies preserves the highest nutrient levels, but lightly sautéed spinach is easier to digest and allows for consuming larger quantities. The key insight: spinach is best consumed earlier in the day because magnesium supports energy production, and you want that energy available when you need it most. I recommend spinach smoothies with banana and berries for breakfast or sautéed spinach with lunch. Avoid pairing spinach with dairy immediately, as calcium can interfere with magnesium absorption. Baby spinach is milder and more versatile than mature leaves. The goal is consistency. Daily magnesium intake supports both energy production and vascular health over time. Within a month of adding daily spinach to his routine, Frank reported dramatically improved stamina. "I went from 2 minutes to 15 minutes, and I'm not even winded afterward," he told me with obvious pride returning to his voice. His energy carried through entire intimate encounters, and his confidence returned completely. "I feel like I'm 45 again," he said at his 3-month checkup. "My wife and I are connecting like we haven't in years." But Frank learned what many of my patients discover: energy and stamina improvements reveal other areas that need support. His performance was lasting longer, but his recovery time between encounters was still lengthy. That's where our 4th vegetable proves absolutely essential. James, 62, was a retired school principal who prided himself on being methodical and thorough in everything he approached. After 3 months on his vegetable protocol, he was thrilled with his improvements: firm erections, protected hormones, and lasting stamina that amazed both him and his wife. But he had one remaining concern that was limiting their intimacy. "Doc, everything works great, but I need a full day or 2 before I can perform again. At our age, my wife and I don't get intimate opportunities every single day, but when we do have a weekend together, I'd love to not be limited to just once." James needed faster recovery between intimate encounters, and the answer was garlic, nature's circulation and recovery accelerator. Garlic contains allicin, a powerful sulfur compound that enhances nitric oxide production even more efficiently than beets, but with an additional benefit that most men don't know about. It supports faster vascular recovery after physical exertion. Research shows that aged garlic extract improves blood flow recovery time by up to 35% compared to placebo. The mechanism is fascinating. Allicin helps clear metabolic waste from muscle tissue while simultaneously supporting continued nitric oxide production. For men over 60, this translates to shorter refractory periods and dramatically improved sexual recovery. Studies in the Journal of Nutrition demonstrate that men consuming garlic regularly showed improved exercise recovery times and better cardiovascular resilience overall. 1 to 2 fresh garlic cloves daily provides therapeutic levels of allicin, but it must be crushed or chopped and allowed to sit for 10 minutes before cooking to activate the beneficial compounds. Raw garlic is most potent, but can be harsh on the stomach. Aged garlic supplements are gentler and highly bioavailable if fresh garlic is too intense. For fresh garlic, add it to sautéed vegetables, salad dressings, or swallow minced cloves with water if you can handle the intensity. After 6 weeks of daily garlic consumption, James reported significantly improved recovery times. Instead of waiting 2 days, "I'm ready again the next morning," he shared with obvious satisfaction. His overall energy felt more sustained throughout intimate encounters, and his confidence in his sexual responsiveness returned completely. James discovered that combining all 4 vegetables created a synergistic effect that surpassed what any single vegetable could accomplish alone. Michael, 59, was a successful architect who designed buildings that would stand for generations. But his personal foundation was crumbling. "Dr. Thompson, I have the equipment, I have the opportunity, but I just don't have the drive anymore. It's like someone turned off my internal engine." Michael's first 4 vegetables had restored his physical capability, but his mental and emotional desire, his libido, was still dormant. This is where many men get frustrated. Everything works mechanically, but the passion, the hunger, the excitement is missing. The solution came through red bell peppers, which became his libido igniter through a pathway that connects directly to brain chemistry and hormonal desire. Red bell peppers contain the highest concentration of vitamin C of any common vegetable, nearly 200 milligrams per cup, which is more than 3 times your daily requirement. But here's the libido connection. Vitamin C is essential for dopamine production in the brain, and dopamine is the neurotransmitter responsible for sexual desire and motivation. Studies show that 67% of men over 55 have suboptimal vitamin C levels, directly impacting dopamine synthesis. Research from the Journal of Sexual Medicine demonstrates that men with higher vitamin C intake report significantly stronger libido and sexual satisfaction. Additionally, vitamin C supports healthy cortisol regulation. Chronic stress and elevated cortisol destroy libido faster than almost any other factor. Red bell peppers provide the vitamin C needed to normalize stress hormone levels while supporting the brain chemistry of desire. 1 large red bell pepper provides enough vitamin C to optimize dopamine production and support healthy stress response. Raw peppers retain the highest vitamin C content, but roasted peppers are easier to digest and still highly beneficial. Add them to salads, stuff them with healthy proteins, or simply snack on pepper strips throughout the day. The key is regular intake. Vitamin C is water-soluble and needs daily replenishment. Within 3 weeks of adding daily red bell peppers, Michael reported a dramatic return of sexual interest. "It's like someone plugged me back in," he said. "I'm thinking about sex again, wanting it again, and actually initiating intimacy with my wife." His stress levels decreased noticeably, and his overall mood improved. The combination of restored physical function and renewed desire transformed his relationship and self-confidence completely. David, 63, was a marathon runner who could cover 26 miles without stopping, but couldn't maintain an erection for 10 minutes. "Doc, I have incredible cardiovascular fitness, but when it comes to sexual performance, I feel like a complete failure." David's issue wasn't circulation, hormones, or energy, it was blood sugar regulation and insulin sensitivity, factors that dramatically impact sexual endurance in ways most men never consider. Asparagus contains high levels of chromium and fiber, which work together to optimize insulin sensitivity and blood sugar control. Poor blood sugar regulation destroys sexual function through multiple pathways. It damages blood vessels, reduces nitric oxide production, and impairs nerve sensitivity. Research shows that men with better blood sugar control maintain firmer erections 40% longer than those with insulin resistance. Asparagus provides the chromium needed to optimize glucose metabolism and the fiber needed to prevent blood sugar spikes. 6 to 8 asparagus spears provide therapeutic levels of chromium and beneficial fiber. Light steaming preserves nutrients while making them easier to digest. Add them to omelets, grill them as sides, or incorporate them into stir-fries. After adding daily asparagus to his protocol, David's sexual endurance improved dramatically. "I went from struggling to maintain an erection to lasting 20 to 30 minutes consistently," he reported. His blood sugar levels stabilized, and his overall energy became more sustained throughout the day. Richard, 67, had experienced success with all the previous vegetables, but still felt mentally uncertain about his sexual performance. "I know my body works now, but I still feel anxious every time we're intimate. It's like I'm waiting for it to fail again." Richard needed the final piece, mental confidence and stress resilience, which came through avocados and their unique nutritional profile. Avocados are rich in healthy monounsaturated fats, potassium, and vitamin E nutrients that support healthy cholesterol levels, blood pressure regulation, and antioxidant protection. But the confidence connection comes through their impact on stress hormones and brain chemistry. The healthy fats in avocados support optimal testosterone production, while the potassium helps regulate blood pressure and reduce performance anxiety. Studies show that men with higher avocado consumption report greater sexual confidence and satisfaction. Half an avocado daily provides optimal levels of beneficial fats and nutrients. Add them to smoothies, make guacamole, or simply eat them with a spoon. The fats also help absorb the other fat-soluble vitamins from your vegetable protocol. After adding daily avocado, Richard's performance anxiety disappeared completely. "I stopped waiting for failure and started enjoying success," he said. "My confidence returned, and with it, the playfulness and joy that had been missing from our intimate life." The real power isn't in any single vegetable. It's in how they support each other to restore complete masculine function. Think of your sexual health like a 7-cylinder engine. You need all cylinders firing properly to get maximum performance. BEETS provide the raw materials for nitric oxide production, ensuring adequate blood flow to erectile tissue. Brussels sprouts protect your testosterone from conversion to estrogen, maintaining hormonal drive. Spinach supplies cellular energy for stamina. Garlic accelerates recovery between encounters. Red bell peppers ignite libido and desire. Asparagus optimizes blood sugar for sustained performance. Avocados restore confidence and reduce anxiety. Each vegetable addresses a different aspect of the complex systems involved in male sexual function. The synergistic effect is remarkable. When all 7 work together, they create optimal conditions for sustained sexual vitality. Research supports this integrated approach. The Mediterranean diet, rich in all these vegetables, is associated with 40% lower rates of erectile dysfunction in men over 60 compared to typical Western diets. The body doesn't work in isolation. It works in interconnected systems that require comprehensive support. The biggest mistake isn't choosing the wrong vegetables, it's how and when you consume them. Most men treat these vegetables like occasional medicine. They'll have beet juice one day, Brussels sprouts 3 days later, skip vegetables entirely for a week, then wonder why they're not seeing consistent results. Your body doesn't store these beneficial compounds long term. Nitrates from beets peak in your system 2 to 3 hours after consumption and are largely gone within 24 hours. DIM from Brussels sprouts works on a similar timeline. Magnesium from spinach is used up in hundreds of daily metabolic processes. The mistake is treating nutrition like medication, taking it when you think you need it rather than supporting your body's ongoing needs. Sexual function isn't a single event. It's the result of continuous physiological processes that operate 24/7. I've seen men consume all 7 vegetables for a week, see some improvement, then slack off because they think they've fixed the problem. Within 2 weeks, they're back to baseline function, frustrated and convinced that natural approaches don't work. The solution is integration, not perfection. Build these vegetables into your daily routine in sustainable ways. Success comes from consistency over intensity. Better to have small amounts of all 7 vegetables daily than large amounts sporadically. Here's the exact protocol I recommend to my patients. Simple, sustainable, and effective. Morning, 7 to 8 a.m. Start with 6 to 8 ounces of fresh beet juice mixed with half an avocado in a smoothie. Add red bell pepper strips as a mid-morning snack. Lunch, 12 to 1 p.m. Include 2 cups of fresh spinach in salads or smoothies. Add 6 to 8 steamed asparagus spears as a side dish. Dinner, 6 to 7 p.m. Include 1 cup of Brussels sprouts or other cruciferous vegetables. Use 1 to 2 fresh garlic cloves in your cooking throughout the day. Weekly meal prep strategy. Sunday prep makes daily implementation effortless. Juice 7 days worth of beets and store in glass containers. Prep Brussels sprouts and asparagus in ready-to-cook portions. Wash and store spinach properly to maintain freshness. The key is flexibility within consistency. If you miss one vegetable on a given day, don't abandon the entire routine. Get back on track with the next meal. Think of this as supporting your body's natural functions, not following a rigid prescription. Results typically become noticeable within 2 to 3 weeks, with optimal benefits developing over 2 to 3 months of consistent implementation. Let me speak to you man to man for a moment. You've spent decades building careers, raising families, and contributing to your communities. You've proven your strength, your reliability, and your commitment in countless ways. The fact that you're here, learning about natural solutions for intimate challenges, isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign that you're still fighting for the relationships and experiences that matter most to you. These 7 vegetables, beets as your circulation spark plug, Brussels sprouts as your testosterone guardian, spinach as your stamina sustainer, garlic as your recovery accelerator, red bell peppers as your libido igniter, asparagus as your endurance enhancer, and avocados as your confidence restorer, aren't just ingredients for better erections. They're tools for reclaiming the confident, vital man you know yourself to be. When your body functions as it should, everything else follows. Confidence in intimate moments, energy for daily activities, and the deep satisfaction that comes from feeling fully alive in your own skin. Building these vegetables into your daily routine isn't about following another diet or health fad. It's about giving your body the specific support it's asking for. Your circulation system needs nitrates. Your hormones need protection from conversion. Your cells need energy fuel. Your recovery systems need optimization support. The choice is entirely up to you. You can continue accepting decreased performance as just part of aging, or you can start tonight with these 7 powerful vegetables. Your body has been waiting for this support, and it's not too late, not even close, to restore the energy, stamina, and confidence that make you feel like the man you know you are, fully, boldly, and without apology. If this information has been valuable, please share it with other men who might benefit. Too many good men are struggling silently with these challenges, and natural solutions like these vegetables could change their lives. Hit the like button if you're ready to implement this 7-vegetable protocol, and let me know in the comments which of these vegetables you're most excited to add to your routine. Subscribe for more content specifically designed for men over 60 who refuse to accept decline as inevitable. I'm here to help you reclaim your vitality using the wisdom of natural health and the power of nutritional science. Remember, the man your wife fell in love with, the man who built the life you're living now, that man is still there. He just needs the right fuel to shine again. These 7 vegetables can provide that fuel. The question is, are you ready to start tonight?